Good evening and welcome to the June the 2nd, 2025 meeting of Pitt County Board of Commissioners. We will have roll call, please. Is that done? Everybody here?
I pushed the button.
All right.
It didn't do
Hit
anything.
yes. There you go. Now we in. Thank you. All right, now we'll have invocation by Commissioner Manning. Please rise.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you in praise and thanksgiving for all the many blessings you have bestowed on us. We ask you, Lord, to guide us as we take up the people's business, that your will be done. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now, if you'll please welcome Miss Monroe from J.H. Rose for the pledge.
Good evening. I'm Ramaya Monroe. I'm a 12th grader at J.H. Rose High School. Currently an alum from all of those organizations I joined because I'm graduating Friday. Thank you. Thank you for having me this evening. At this time, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Have a good evening.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Moving on to number 5, approval of the agenda.
I would like to make a motion.
Hold on now.
What we supposed to do?
Well, hold on. Now, if you'll hit your button again, please. Yes, ma'am.
There we go. Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda with the removal of the appointment to the Pitt Greenville Airport Authority with a reschedule.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. Motion passes. Close, all right. Now moving on to public addresses to the board.
Mr. Chairman, you have 3 people signed up to speak. The first one is Gary Pastor. While he's coming forward, if the attorney will read the statement.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Pitt County welcomes all comments on matters of public concern. Each speaker will be allowed up to 3 minutes to speak. A total of 30 minutes is set aside for public addresses to the board. Please state your name and address prior to speaking.
Good evening. My name is Gary Pastor. I live at 1014 Four Lines Road in Winterville, North Carolina. Been there for a long time. First, when I came into this building today, I felt safe. The security was doing a wonderful job. They're polite, they're professional, they waved, they shook my hand. It's good to see them. So first, I'd like to say thank you to the security folks that are here. Again, my name's Gary Pastor. I spent 4 years in the United States Marine Corps, 4 years with the Greenville Police Department. 26 years as the owner of Private Eyes Incorporated and the North Carolina Protection Group, which, yes, is the security company that's providing your security. I live right here in Pitt County and have for over 30 years. I'm married to a retired Pitt County teacher. I have a 16-year-old son who is just awesome, and I'm proud to say that. We're members of the Pitt County Chamber of Commerce and the ENC Alliance. We've been honored to assist with the security for the past year, and hopefully you feel safe. There's a proposal in front of you tonight to consider switching to Allied Universal. Close your eyes and consider for just a second that you're on an airplane. And as soon as you get on that airplane, you sit down, you put your seatbelt on, you hear the pilot say, "Welcome aboard tonight. Your safety is important." All parts of this airplane were purchased from the lowest bidder, and the pilots were the least expensive that we could find this evening. Thank you and have a safe flight. Did you feel safe? Would you fly that? We buy nice cars. We do all the stuff that we need to do for our friends and family to make sure that we're safe and secure. This should be no exception. For the citizens of Pitt County, for your chambers, for the people that come to these meetings, you should have top-notch security. That is what we provide. We provide security for, I can't tell you clients' names, but boat manufacturing companies here in the area. Movie stars, YouTubers, the Fortune 5 company in the world we do security for out of Raleigh-Durham. This is serious to us. We've been doing it for a long time. We're asking you to please consider your safety and the safety of those that come to the courthouse, the farmer's market, these meetings, and not just go with the lowest bidder to save a dime, but to actually go with somebody that is quality, that you can trust, that is here and proven themselves over the past 12 months. So I ask you, when you get that piece of paper in front of you and you're determining what you want to do with it, please ask yourself, do you want to go with the lowest bidder? Or is your safety and security the most important thing? I'm here for any questions if you have them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next, Rusty Duke.
My name is Rusty Duke. I live at 425 West Longmeadow Road, Greenville, North Carolina. I was reared in Farmville, which I think is one of the finest places on this planet. It's been a long time since I've been up here, and every time I've ever come up here, I felt like I was walking on an icy pond that I didn't know exactly how thick the ice was. But it's very comfortable to be here with all you friends. I know each one of you, and I appreciate what you do. You have dedicated your time and your service to the people of our community in a very difficult job where you are exposed to the people. My purpose for being up here is to encourage you and tell you a story very quickly. In 1993, the county board was faced with a decision as to whether or not to locate our Pitt County Courthouse on the campus outside of town, across the river. Thankfully, they decided to keep it in the city. And I want to encourage you to make a decision when you've considered every aspect of what you're having to consider. I would like for you to consider the importance of the perception of having your county administrative building in the city where things happen, not located out across the river on the campus. That's my sole purpose for being here. I heard that the location was in question, and I hope that each one of you will really consider the importance of that decision to the future of our county. Do you have any questions? Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here and to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next, I have Paula Dance.
Good evening, Commissioners, Madam County Manager. I wanted to come before you again tonight, before that budget is passed, to talk about an issue with clothing allowance. In the last meeting, there was a decision that was made that we would receive the clothing allowance, but it would be reimbursable instead of in our paychecks. For 30 years, we've always had clothing allowance that was afforded to people who can't practically perform their job duties in a uniform, i.e. Undercover agents, drug agents, people working undercover work can't be in a uniform and perform their duties. And so we have what's called a clothing allowance. And we've always had that clothing allowance for the last, again, 30 years. Sheriff Manning was sheriff at one point, and we had it under him. And just 2 years ago, for some reason, there's come up a question about officers getting clothing allowance. And I don't know where that came from. So I just wanted to make you aware that you all had voted that it be reimbursed. In other words, the officer goes out, purchases clothes, and then bring in receipts and get reimbursed. According to the IRS, in the quick guidelines, publication 5138, 2-2014, clothing allowance that is given to employees has to be considered as taxable income because it could be everyday wear. Even though we wear these suits and things like that to certain meetings or to court, there's a requirement that we wear it. Every officer gets uniforms or a uniform allowance. I think in my budget, I talked about the fact that it costs $1,700, a little over $1,700, to fully equip an officer every year, whereas the clothing allowance is $1,100. So those of us who are getting clothing allowance, it's actually cheaper. Uniforms that I wear are uniforms that I had for years. I don't get new uniforms every year. I don't get fully outfitted every year. I rely on using my clothing allowance to kind of outfit me depending on what it is that I'm doing. But I did want to bring that to your attention. I also want to bring to your attention the city of Greenville. Same thing, taxable income, it's in their paychecks. City of Durham, it's in their paychecks. City of Rocky Mount, Town of Selma, City of Apex, City of Asheville, Town of Swansboro, Carrboro Police Department, Town of Fayetteville, almost every single department. I had asked for 5 minutes as speaking on behalf of a organization.
I think you got a question coming from the board.
Can I finish this real quick? So here in Selma's Article 12, it says in order to comply with the Internal Revenue Service, this is Selma's Police Department, in their policy dealing with uniforms, in order to comply with the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS provisions, all payments made to employees for clothing allowance will be paid monthly through payroll. These payments are taxable, but not a part of the base pay and not subject to retirement 401k. Uniforms is what I have on. This is a uniform. Regular clothing is maybe a suit or slacks and a pair of pants that we purchase, and it is taxable. That goes towards I believe it goes towards Medicare and Social Security, I believe. I can't remember the two that's taxable for. So I did want to bring that back up to ask that you reconsider back to what we've done for 30 years in getting our clothing allowance. This leaves us open to people bringing in receipts that we won't know. How will you even know that it's a receipt that they purchased clothes with? You know what I mean? I would prefer that it goes back if we could do that, if you all would take that into consideration so that we can go back to the tradition that we've long held for so many years. Any questions?
I didn't catch the amount. You said that the uniforms are
To outfit one deputy in a complete uniform
is $1,700.
$1,700. I can't remember the exact figure.
Okay.
$1,750 something maybe a year
And
per deputy.
Per year.
Mm-hmm.
$1,750. And the clothing allowance for the non-uniform
Right.
clothing
The
allowance.
non-uniform officers, $1,100 is $550 every 6 months. So you're actually coming out cheaper in providing the clothing allowance than if we were to have to.
That's all I want to know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Moving along to item number 7. Number 1, Public Health Quarterly Report. Dr. Wes Gray, please. Come on and join us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Madam Manager. Got a very brief quarterly report since I last saw you in March. I'll start with our clinic visits. We've had so far this fiscal year through May 31st, 9,330 clinical visits. Our monthly show rate averages anywhere from 77% to 80%, but this month in May we had 83% show rate, so that was a very good rate. Again, our goal for the next year is to get over that 1,000 patients a month threshold. That's what we're working towards, and that's what we're moving towards now. An update on the STD Rapid Clinic: we've seen 1,416 visits so far this fiscal year to that clinic, about 230 per month. Our outreach division, this is a 2-month lag as of March 2025. Our Healthy Start program, we're at 246 participants, so we've met 153% of our goal for the year for that program. For the next 2 high-risk pregnancies and at-risk children, those are our care management programs. We have 287 participants in the high-risk pregnancies group, and the at-risk children group 179. There's no benchmark, no state max for that, but we are meeting the benchmarks, and we have to meet those benchmarks to keep those programs in the county and not have the prepaid health plans take those over. So we're very pleased with that. Our nurse family partnership, we're at 62 families, 82% of our goal, and Healthy Beginnings, we're at 25 families, 64% of the goal. Environmental health through end of April, on-site wastewater, we've had 1,559 site visits. We've evaluated almost 1,000 sites. Consultations, 6,382 consultations with landowners and people asking questions. Any kind of question, we register that. We've had over 6,000 of those just consultations this year alone, and we've issued 194 on-site wastewater permits, 436 consultations for wells, and 31 new permits so far this year. And then food and lodging, total inspections, 1,785, total consultations, 7,880. Just some of the highlights, we've had 928 restaurants inspected so far, 221 food stands, 41 schools, 138 child care centers, 42 residential care visits, 8 hotels, and 88 tattoo artists. And we register each tattoo artist, not the facility. So if they move from one facility to another, we inspect them again. And you'll see next month, the next 2, you'll see that pool number jump up because we've got several staff working to get all our pools inspected here in the county. WIC participation, our most recent state data we get was February 2025. Our baseline for the year that the state says we need to meet is 4,143. We have to meet at least 97% of that. We've got 4,212 current clients, so that's 104% of our target baseline for the year. Update on our dental. Patients seen January through April, 147 kids, all under 18. 145 exams, 147 cleanings, 518 x-rays. We've done several sealants, fillings, and extractions for that population. Dr. Askew is our dentist for the first 4 months, and Dr. Vinson is going to be starting in July 7th. Health education and promotion. We had a big event this morning. This was the Maynard Children's Hospital, the Center for Child and Family Wellness, and the Pitt County Health Department through our Child Fatality Prevention Team. We had an event this morning called Hope, Faith, and Connection, and that was about 76 attendees came out to learn about the child care system, the infant mortality system, and all the programs we have to offer. The county wellness program, happy to say that as of the end of the screening process last month, we've screened 733 county employees for the current year. That's compared to 638 for the last fiscal year. So we increased that by 95. That doesn't include employees that submit their lab results and test results from their primary care doctor. That's just employees that come to our program to get those screenings done. And then in human resources, we've had 32 new hires so far this fiscal year through the 2nd of June. 32 new hires, turnover of 7, and 2 retirements. And then just some health department highlights for the last few months. We were able to take a nice group to the Eastern District North Carolina Public Health Association annual meeting down in Atlantic Beach. And so that's why I'm wearing shorts. I wouldn't wear that normally. All right, so SPARK training was the 22nd last week. That's Special Pathogens Response Center. And you see our Always Game Director of Nursing, Lee Cutler's in the B costume right there on the left. And that's a special training for pathogens that ECU and the state helps put on. And then I do want to mention that we were accredited by the North Carolina Public Health Accreditation Board. We do this normally every 4 years, but this is due to COVID. This is a 6-year cycle this time. And so we met 146 out of 147 activities. So we're reaccredited with honors as of May 9th. So they gave us this nice plaque to have. And very proud of the staff because that takes a whole lot of work and a whole lot of record keeping and a whole lot of evidence we have to present. So we're real proud of the staff for that. And with that, I'll answer any questions y'all might have. Yes.
Mr. West, have you received any complaints regarding, from any rural residents relating to whales? Are you the one that might get that complaint?
Most of the time, it goes to Kent Keeter and William Wade.
Have
so
you heard
I can get
anybody
those.
squawking about it? I just want to, because we had a lot of rain lately, and I haven't heard any, but I just wanted to know if we have.
I have not. They have not brought them to my
Okay,
attention.
all
So
right.
if
That's
I will check
wonderful.
on that.
Thank
yeah.
you. I just want to ask.
Anyone else? Thank you, sir, for your report.
Thank you.
Welcome from the Pitt County Arts Council, Holly.
There we go. How are you? Thank you so much for having me here this evening, and thank you for all you do, commissioners and county manager. I'm here tonight to give you a very quick update about some things that the Pitt County Arts Council has done over the last year. And just a little bit of information, we are the designated partner to the North Carolina Arts Council. Almost over 85 counties throughout North Carolina have local arts agencies, and we have been designated by county commissioners to do that. I want to really give a lot of credit to my board of directors. This is our board of directors for next fiscal year, and I just want to point out that Kelly Andrews has been the Pitt County designee on our board. We're really excited to have Jennifer Lanier Coward join her and help with the arts throughout the county. We conducted a strategic plan 2 years ago and have updated this each year with tasks. And I want to point out two different focus areas, which is the first, which is serve all of Pitt County through the arts. And we really try to do that throughout the county. And I'm going to ask for your help tonight, talking about a couple things to make sure we are getting out to the entire county. And also establish the county as a regional arts and cultural hub. And last year when I came to you, I showed you this data through the Americans for the Arts, showing the economic impact of the arts. And this is so important because sometimes we see the arts as fluff and entertainment, and it is not. It is dollars in addition to that in education and community building. But when someone goes to a cultural event at a nonprofit arts organization, specifically, that's what this data showed, they are spending over $33 on average externally from that arts event. So at restaurants, shopping, lodging, and this is what we try to continually do is reinforce our nonprofit arts organizations to build not only quality of life for our citizens here in Pitt County, but as a tourism driver and really bringing people to all parts of our county. Just a quick, some quick data from our last fiscal annual report. Soon I'll be giving you one for this fiscal year. But a couple things. We really try to support our Pitt County schools through different programming in our art teachers, which I'll talk about in a minute. But also we do direct grants to individual artists, meaning musicians, visual artists, actors, dancers, and also our nonprofit arts organizations. We disperse something called the Grassroots Grant, and this is I want to say we had 15 organizations receive funding, almost $60,000 of these sub-grants. And very exciting to say this has gone out to Farmville, Winterville, Ayden, Fountain, and Greenville. So if your district is another one of our municipalities, please get in contact with me because we would love for, and it doesn't have to be an arts organization, it's an organization who does arts programming. So that could be a senior center, a youth organization, and we're very dedicated to making sure we're reaching all of Pitt County. Really exciting news. Last fiscal year, we passed the $1 million mark with our budget. Our first annual budget back in 2000, we'll be celebrating our 25th year this year, was actually $20,000. So we're very excited. It's not going to happen this next year because we had received some National Endowment for the Arts money that was subgranted to all of Pitt County organizations, but just want to really show that we are serious about building our organization and also getting that money out to help our community organizations. One way we do that is through our grants for programming to get into Pitt County schools. Last year, we brought Mike Wiley to Pitt County schools, and this year, we brought Shauna Tucker, who does Chamber Soul, amazing songwriting. She brought to Pitt County schools, and also Black Box Dance Theater went to Wall Coates. And so each year, those programming, it cost about $13,000 to $15,000, which we wrote the grant applications to. And I want to really give a shout out to Russell Knight, our Pitt County Schools Arts Coordinator. He is unbelievable, and we work really closely with him. Another way we support Pitt County schools is through our Youth Arts Festival, and it was very incredible this last year. We had over 10,000 attendees come to the Youth Arts Festival, and all the proceeds from the sponsorships go back to a Pitt County Schools Arts Educators Fund. This is to supplement already budgeted amount that the principals have budgeted for those arts teachers, but it's to help them buy supplies and materials and really help our arts educators do that. This year, because Town Common will be under construction, we will be having it at South Central High School. We also had our inaugural Mosaic Multicultural Arts Festival, and this was to bring back Greenville's International Festival that happened many years ago, and it was a true success bringing our international communities and our multicultural communities together. This next year, it will happen in March of 2026, and we're still deciding on a location of where that will be. Two of our main outreach programs are our Youth Public Arts Project, where the kids come free of charge to Emerge Gallery and Art Center every other Saturday and work on public art projects half the day and then learn how to play the keyboard and songwrite the other half the day. And two of the main projects they did this year were a mini mural at the West Zone Police Station on West 5th Street, and also they're finishing up a mural that will be going on Carver Library. Our other outreach program is Art is Good Medicine, and we send artists into the hospital, the Children's Hospital, the once a week, Cancer Center twice a week, and the Hope Lodge once a week. And we are looking to expand that this next year into the Women's Services Department to help soon-to-be mothers who are on bed rest. Very excited next year. We will be working to get 2 new sculptures as part of the Downey Sculpture Exhibition on county property at the new locations. But this is a rotating sculpture show throughout the county with large-scale sculpture that usually costs a big buck to commission these, but they are on location for a year and then change, and this is one way we can make the arts accessible to our entire community. And to end off tonight's update, I just want to really thank the county commissioners for approving this project and the county staff who worked really, really hard to light up the cupola. And this is a joint project, which, it can be challenging, but it's not challenging because of our amazing leadership and staff throughout both the county and the city. But we have illuminated the cupola cupola. City Hall just went online a couple weeks ago. And then privately, the Brightspeed Tower. And so all of these have color changing capabilities, and it really shows the amazing partnerships we have in Pitt County, in Greenville. And the Arts Council is going to be working this next year with planning with some of our private buildings downtown, and maybe even come out of downtown Greenville to light up some other structures in the future. And then lastly, a big project that we are working on with the city of Greenville to increase connection within the downtown and our university community in West Greenville is the Emerald Express Trolley. We've been organizing the downtown Greenville Art Walks for the last years in our contract for services with the city of Greenville, and very exciting to say that we've just fundraised $90,000 to help purchase a new trolley for the city of Greenville and bling it out. And so this possibility is to really bring tourism, but also, again, quality of life for our citizens here in Pitt County to come to downtown Greenville and have something really unique. So, so that is my quick update. Any questions?
No,
All
sir.
right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, and come Friday to the First Friday Art Walk, we'll have the K-12 Pitt County Schools student show at Emerge Gallery and Art Center, over 300 pieces of artwork, and ride the trolley.
Thank you. Moving on to the manager's report.
Yes, just two, and actually would like to add one third quick item. Your next meeting date's June 3rd, tomorrow night. I'm at 6 p.m. in this room for your public hearing on the budget. And then we'll resume our regular second meeting on June 16th, and then you only have one meeting in the month of July, and that's on the 21st. In your packet for item B is a request from the city of Greenville, and my intent in manager's report this evening is just to introduce this request to you and then bring it back as an item for further discussion or consideration at your next meeting. And you'll find it on pages 4 and 5 of your packet. This is a project in collaboration between the city of Greenville and Pitt Community College called 50 and 10 to address affordable housing in the community. Greenville owns over 100 lots within the city of Greenville that are ready to build affordable homes on, and they are working in partnership to build 50 homes over 10 years using students at Pitt Community College to build those homes. That would cost only the cost of the materials only to build those homes. And in order to get the first 5 built, they believe that they need a fund of $450,000. That fund will replenish itself each time an affordable home is sold. So this is a one-time request from the city of Greenville. The city of Greenville is committing $200,000 to this fund. Greenville Utilities has committed $75,000. They're hoping to raise $100,000 in private donation, which looks very positive, leaving $75,000 in commitment needed to move the project forward. And they're asking that the county consider a one-time $75,000 request for this 50 and 10 affordable housing plan in our community. So you can take some time to look over this. If you have any questions, let me know, but wanted to introduce the topic, and we'll bring it back as an item for decision next meeting, next regular meeting. Any questions at this time? Okay, and then, Mr. Chairman, if you'll allow, I have one other item that's not printed on your agenda, and that is the city of Greenville is asking for a letter of support. It does not cost us any money. They are applying for a grant from the Federal Transportation Authority in order to transition their bus fleet to all battery electric vehicles. And so that they can benefit the residents through cleaner air and quieter operations. We are the provider of their paratransit service, and they would like a letter of support from us to include in their grant application in the hopes that they can receive these grant funds. If there's consensus from the board, I'll go ahead and sign a proposed letter of support for their grant application.
Okay, if that's all you need is letters, the consent, not necessarily a motion.
Or you can do a motion, that'd be even great, for me to provide a letter of support for the City of Greenville's grant.
Okay, my motion is to provide a letter of support to the city of Greenville for this grant.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, please vote. Is that what yours was for?
Yeah, I'll push the button.
All right. Who ain't voted?
It didn't take?
There we
Okay,
go.
I pushed.
Motion carries.
Thank you, that's all that I have.
All right. Now, moving on to items for consent.
Chair, I'd like to move that we accept items for consent.
Motion and a second. Please vote. Moving right along to items for decision.
Yes, the first item is your strategic plan. As directed by the board, staff issued a request for qualifications for strategic planning services back in March of 2025. We had 24 firms submit their qualifications for the project. 15 of those applications were complete submittals for consideration by our in-house selection committee. After review of the submittals, we identified 3 firms, which we interviewed in late April. And following that interview process, the committee unanimously recommended that this board enter into a contract with Barry Dunn to provide the county's strategic planning services. Their contract is attached in your materials beginning on page 173. We'll ask the board to select Barry Dunn and recommend that you authorize me to execute this contract for an amount not to exceed $110,000.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm very excited about this strategic plan, and I would like to make the motion to use Barry Dunn Services to come up with our strategic plan.
You have a motion
A second.
and a second. Please vote.
Thank you. You're n-
Moving
Ready?
right along. Yes, ma'am. Keep on rolling.
Before we go on, do we need the second motion? to
Did you do-
authorize?
if you would, please.
Or just add that?
Yes, and motion to authorize.
Got a motion?
Accept that.
Second. Please vote. All right. Now moving on to number 2, security services contract.
Thank you. The next process, which was similar, was this board directed staff to issue a request for proposals to elicit bids for the provision of needed security services at 3 places: the Pitt County Courthouse, the County Administration Building, which includes the Farmers Market and Planning Board in addition to our meetings, and for social services. In response to that, we had 17 firms submit bids to cover all or a portion of those requested. There's a bid tabulation sheet in your materials so you can see who submitted bids and their order of cost proposals from lowest to highest. In reviewing the bids carefully, we recognized that certain bidders did not bid on the DSS portion, and we also recognized that the DSS transportation needs are very unique. They're currently contracting with ENC Protection Group LLC for both transportation and security services, and it's our recommendation that you allow them to continue to contract with ENC Protection Group to renew that contract. The pricing proposals for the DSS transportation services and security were not out of line in comparison with the other bids, and we would recommend that they be dropped out of this proposal. For the courthouse and administration building, Allied Security was the lowest bid. for both armed and unarmed security at the courthouse and in the county office building. And our recommendations are listed on page 185 of your agenda packet. Those recommendations being to select Allied Universal as the firm to provide security services for the courthouse and administrative functions, to authorize me to execute that contract in an amount not to exceed $250,000, to select ENC Protection Group to continue to provide services for social services, and authorize me to execute that contract in an amount not to exceed $200,000. I'm happy to answer any questions about this or any particulars of the process.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chairman Holland. Thank you, Madam Manager. Wanted to ask a question. We heard in public comments from our current protection group. Who is our current protection group? Here, Administrative Productive Group.
Yes, is NC Protection Group.
Okay.
At the courthouse, Allied is the incumbent.
Okay.
Here, NC Protection is the incumbent.
And I guess this is a process-oriented question. We issued the RFQ, and are we bound to, based on the amount of the contracts, are we bound to go with the lowest bidder through this process, or is this something that we can weigh and balance experience and our particular set of circumstances and making a determination about who we choose?
The latter. You are not bound to the lowest bid, and you can consider, and our bid, our request for proposals actually included that language in there.
When does our current contract with our administrative building provided services expire?
June 30th. All three expire June 30th.
Okay. If it's not out of line, I would like to consider moving this for further consideration onto our next meeting as an item for decision as it relates to the administrative building. I've been pleased with the services provided. However, I think that it's important that we have a chance to review, because we did have, while the bid difference seems to be large, am I correct in reading this that the bid for 26 three-hour meetings at the administrative building is $7,800 from North Carolina Protection Group, and the Allied Universal for that same amount would have been $4,322.76. Is that correct?
Correct.
So that amounts to a little over $3,000 difference for a set of a year. So that's over the course of 26 contracted meetings. So $3,000 difference between the two.
Correct.
Okay.
The substantial cost difference relates to the number of hours and number of personnel for the courthouse security.
Got it.
And so, yeah, over the course of the year, it's about $3,000 difference.
Right.
On the admin service. If the board is inclined to retain its incumbent, since it is not to retain the incumbent providers, my recommendation would be that you reject all bids and authorize me to enter into renewal contracts with all three providers. And I can do that because the ENC Protection Group is an incumbent provider. Allied Security at the courthouse is an incumbent provider. And the only one that was off in the dollars in my recommendation, and I will always recommend to you the lowest cost, because that's our protocol in bringing this through, unless they have some reason to believe that the lowest cost is unable or unwilling to provide satisfactory service. But there's no question that we've received exceptional service from NC Protection Group and have enjoyed them. They, if they were to do both the courthouse and admin, you would see you'd see the cost difference between $247,000 and $361,000. But it's only a $3,000 difference on this service.
So
alone.
presumably, if we were to tonight keep things as they are, would that disrupt anything administratively in-house? Are you satisfied, as staff of all three facilities, are they satisfied, to your knowledge, with the level of service provided?
Yes, the courthouse is satisfied with Allied, admin has been satisfied with NC Protection, and DSS is satisfied with ENC Protection.
Well, I guess I'm prepared to make a motion that we retain our current providers.
Can we move over for 1 second? Sure. We'll come right back to you. Commissioner McLaughlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Manager, the Sheriff's Department providing the services, certainly I think that NC Protection has done a tremendous job, and I've been very pleased with them. But the Sheriff's Department has provided that kind of service for us. Has that been ruled out that they would not do that now? Or what's the status of that?
So you may recall several years ago, we used to have a deputy assigned to our building who provided your security for your meetings, and the sheriff withdrew that position and told us to contract at $47 an hour with her off-duty staff. Last year, she advised us that we were not permitted to contract with their staff because she couldn't find anybody to work meetings the length of our meetings. She has not offered, she has indicated to me in my most recent conversations that she does not have staff to fill a permanent position or to contract with us.
Even at this time, she did.
At this time.
You did.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mary, I hit it twice. You get, go ahead, go first, then Mark.
Okay. I'm in favor of the manager recommendation is that the three groups be given the opportunity to compile and go through it, and that way we won't look biased for any particular building or any particular security. Because I do know that social service does have special need, but I like to see all three given the same opportunity. Isn't that what you were saying in your recommendation?
Yeah, so my recommendation in your package was that you go with the lowest cost. But an alternative recommendation, if the board is willing, is to reject all bids and to authorize me to enter into renewal contracts with each of the to keep what you've got.
Okay.
And the difference will be in the cost.
And I like this. That's what I'm interested in, because I like looking at stuff as I can better decide.
Commissioner Smith.
Where is Allied and ENC based out of?
ENC is in Kinston. ENC is the one for social services.
Right.
In Kinston, NC Protection is here for the admin, and Allied is a global company, but our representatives are in Raleigh.
So NC Protection is out of Kinston?
NC Protection is here.
Is here, okay, that's what I thought you said earlier.
ENC Protection, so not to
ENC.
be confused. NC Protection
So we have
is-
two from outside of town, one from Pitt County,
Correct.
of the three.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'd like to see us deal with Pitt County person, but that's me.
I agree.
Are we ready to vote?
Yeah, will you hit your button so I can cut you on?
I make a motion that we reject three and authorize the manager to renew with all three vendors. Provide that.
I like to second it.
Got a motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries. All right. Moving right along, appointment to the Pitt County Social Services Board.
Yes, it is recommended that you nominate Reverend Andrew Shue to the Pitt County Social Services Board to take the place of Daron Dancy, whose term is set to expire on June 30th.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Please vote.
Did I vote?
Motion passes.
Why does it say yes over there?
All right. Commissioner comments, please chime in. We have one. Close that.
What was it, my turn?
Commissioner Huggins, you're first.
No,
Or
no.
did you not mean to speak? Okay. Commissioner Nunley?
I would just like to congratulate everybody that's graduating across the county over the next couple weeks. Those that graduated from Pitt Community College and our community college systems, those that from the universities in our area and our local high schools. Congratulations and best wishes.
Well,
Commissioner McLaughlin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As this board is quite aware of, we have, over the past years since I've been on the board, recognized the Eagle Scouts as a permanent set sponsorship. We've recognized them for the services they do for this community. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion that the manager would allocate $1,200 in the proposed budget to the Scouting America East Carolina Council to cover the sponsorship, donation, and dues as it relates to. I serve as a representative as the Eagle Scout, as all of you are aware, and I think this is a tremendous service that we've done from the county perspective to recognize these Eagle Scouts. So I would like to make that recommendation at this time.
Yes, ma'am. Were you just speaking, or you want to second that?
well, I'll second.
Okay, got a
I'll
motion.
second it, and then I want to make a statement.
All right, got a motion and a second. Please vote. In a minute, I think she wants to speak next.
What we doing now?
Voting $1,200 go to the Eagle Scouts. All right. Zero, okay. Motion carries. Close. You should turn it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, since Commissioner Nunley mentioned graduates, that made me think that I would like to announce that my granddaughter will be going to Emory Medical School. She has been accepted by 5 medical schools, but she chose Emory. So I just want to make that announcement. We're so proud of her.
Congratulations. Anybody else? I do want to recognize NC House Member Laura Steen Brown. Thank you. She always shows up. Sometimes I do forget to tell you, but she wouldn't let me tonight. So thank you for coming. All right, now we will need a motion to go into closed session.
I so moved.
And Mr. Chair, if I may read the basis
Please.
quickly. It has been suggested that this body go into closed session under the following grounds: to discuss matters relating to the location or expansion of industries under North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A4, and to prevent the disclosure of information that is not considered a public record under North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A1.
Thank you. You have a motion and a second. Please vote. Motion passes.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the closed session minutes from April 7th of this year.